Numb.
2 hours later.
Numb. Hello everyone, how are we all feeling? Everyone coping after the tragedy of last night? Well, if not, hopefully I can deliver some catharsis with you as we look back at what happened in the Euro 2024 final and just look back at the tournament in general. But let's kick things off with the final, of course. Spain win 2-1 against England in normal time and become the worthy Euro champions. They were by far the best team in the whole tournament. They came shooting out of the gates and caught everybody's attention within that first game as a potential contender to go and win the whole thing. And I think it's a perfect opportunity to congratulate them on that victory. It's very well deserved. They were the best team. There wasn't anything jammy about it. There wasn't anything cheeky. There really isn't any injustice in that. Congratulations. There was something a little bit jammy though about England on the other hand, who have had a very bizarre tournament if you ask me. England is a squad full of absolutely fantastic players, whether they're young or old. Some of them were voted as Young Player of the Premier League season, some were the top goal scorer in Germany. On paper, this is probably the best international squad at the tournament just played. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I really do believe that. There is quality in almost every single position, except maybe that defence. And you know what? The defence actually wasn't that bad. Mark Gahey can definitely hold his head up high. I do think there's question marks about Walker though. He never managed to look comfortable dealing with Nico Williams, and it is hard to understand why Gareth Southgate didn't change him out for Trippier or Alexander-Arnold. And yet through the whole tournament there just seemed to be a complete disconnect between management and team. There really wasn't any chemistry or cohesion. Southgate has always been defensively minded. He would rather keep a clean sheet than go and score 2 or 3 goals. But the level of quality in these players that England have at their disposal and what they are doing week in, week out at their clubs, where they are playing very high pressing, attacking, top energy football constantly throughout the whole 90 minutes, it just absolutely doesn't make sense at all to not let them do that. It's their bread and butter. It's what they've been good at for the whole past year. It's like teaching a dog to walk on its hind legs. Why? It's got 4 legs and can do that quite comfortably. Just leave the damn thing be. It wasn't copacetic and it made for a very dysfunctional team in almost every single game that England played. And I do think they got exceptionally lucky the whole tournament, really. That Slovakia game was a real low moment. Maybe I'm being a bit elitist and looking down on Slovakia. Yes, of course, they do have some decent players. But no offence, guys, we, England, should be slaughtering you on the pitch. That should have been a comfortable 3-0, 4-0. That should have been the game that got everyone off their seats, roaring and screaming and believing. And instead, it actually sunk everyone's hopes. It made everybody think, oh, okay, it's not coming home this year then. If we can't deal with them, how are we going to deal with a Spain or a France or a Germany? Truth is, we're not going to. And it is that tactical misalignment that just completely threw it away for England. There really is only one half of the game where I can genuinely say I liked what I saw from England, and that was that first half against the Netherlands in the semi-final. That was the first time that England actually installed that hope and belief that maybe we could do this. Maybe we are finding our form just at the right moment. But no, Southgate wants to revert back to form, and it showed in his team selections. He went for the same team every single time, despite players constantly being changed out after 75 minutes because they hadn't done anything in each game they played. Maybe that's a sign that you need to stop starting them and give these players you're bringing on off the bench who are doing so much better a chance to do it. And by doing that, you also kick some players up the bum and stop them from being lazy. You are not guaranteed to start every single week if you're going to play like that. Especially when there's Cole Palmer, Ollie Watkins, Anthony Gordon, so many quality players sat on that bench who, God bless them, most of them must be wondering why on earth they were even taken. Why was Adam Morton there? Did he even play? I don't remember him coming on if he did. Anthony Gordon, I think, got like 6 minutes. 7 games. And he played 6 minutes. And he was really good in those 6 minutes. What on earth has he done to Gareth Southgate to deserve that? When Phil Foden stunk the gaff out every night. Once again, everything from Southgate was a little bit too safe, a little bit too little too late, and all too reactionary. Be proactive, see the problem and fix it while you can before it becomes a real problem. But that just isn't in Southgate's DNA, and therefore this is what England are going to be under him. Wasted potential. And I think it is time for him to go. And as much as I'm not his biggest fan, I never have been. I've had Jurgen Klopp as my manager for 9 years. You're damn right I believe in heavy metal football. But I can't get too excited about that and still do have some caution when it comes to picking a New England manager, because is it just me or does it stink of Graham Potter? I can't be the only one who thinks this is just in his back pocket already. He would be the successor. Surely. Ticks all the boxes for the FA. And I'm not convinced he's the right person either. I think it's finally time for England to put their balls on the table. Pardon my French, but it is. It's time to actually take advantage of what we've got and get a proper killer manager. An Ancelotti, a Zidane, a Mancini. I don't know, like, some of these are probably never going to be able to happen, but we need someone with that actual fear factor. We need that guy. We need the leader. We need the charisma. I honestly wouldn't even be against Jose Mourinho, although he has just gone off to Turkey, but I would love to see that, at least for one tournament. It's time now. Getting to the final isn't good enough anymore. Not with what we've got on the pitch. And the decisions being made can't continue if we do want to find success. And that's probably my biggest positive that I could take from last night's game, is that with Spain winning the game and winning the tournament overall, that's a huge win for football, because England have been boring. They've been turgid. They've been slow off the mark. They've been cautious. It's been a really rough watch, except for the odd moment here and there and a hell of a lot of luck. You can't really walk away from that high and mighty. You know you could have done a lot more. Whereas Spain were exciting. They were quick. They had intent. They played like a team. They had cohesion. It was so easy on the eye, and there were so many beautiful turns and spins from Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo. Fabian Ruiz played some wonderful splitting passes, mostly because Declan Rice just allowed him to. My God, I was screaming at my TV about Declan Rice last night. 100 million. You sure, Arsenal? I did not see 100 million last night. And that is a huge victory for football. It should be played the way that Spain did this entire tournament, and I'm glad they've been rewarded for that. And it is a matter of this whole tournament, this cautious approach, this only looking to win rather than actually play the beautiful game, really did cost this tournament. There really weren't that many mind-blowing, memorable games. The biggest one for me, I'd probably say, is the France-Spain semi-final. Lamine Yamal's screamer. That's probably the memory I'm going to have of this tournament when I look back on it in 10-15 years' time. That, or probably the Ollie Watkins winner in the semi-final. In fact, it is actually probably going to be the Ollie Watkins one, mostly because I saw that with my dad, and that was a really special moment, and I'll always love Ollie Watkins for giving me and my dad that moment. But no, it didn't really deliver, and I think it is more noticeable, especially off the back of the absolute madness that we just had in the last World Cup. Saudi Arabia got wins over Argentina, only for Argentina to then go the whole way and have a final with France, which I genuinely think might be one of the greatest games of football ever played, period. It was always going to be pretty hard to top that, and I think that is still very recent in everybody's memories. I didn't get to see many of the games because of the time difference, but I watched an awful lot of the highlights of the Copa America, which has been playing out at the same time as the Euros. And let me tell you, it's been absolutely bonkers. With fun, free-flowing, attacking football from all sides involved. And you can't help but compare the two and think this one feels a lot flatter to it. It did, and it was, but I still think it was okay. I'm definitely going to have moments that I remember from this. I mean, we said goodbye to Luka Modric. We said goodbye to Toni Kroos as well. Possibly Thomas Muller, I'd have thought as well. I had a really good time becoming a part-time Georgia fan. I really did celebrate that opening goal against Spain. It's a shame it went the way it did, but what a moment for them. Lamine Yamal's screamer. There was some excellent saves throughout the tournament as well. I think it was a decent tournament. It wasn't one of the best, but I think it was decent. I'd probably give it a high 6 out of 10, a low 7 out of 10. In that ballpark, personally. But hopefully I've managed to make you feel a little bit better about last night's results. Congratulations, Spain, once again. And of course, what did you think about it? Please do let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Take care. I look forward to seeing you on the next review.